1 minute, there we go. Yeah, love that one. That man gives you there, and everywhere too. The beautiful shorthand that Naomi and I have is that she understands my failings. So she knows that I go into first preview, or certainly dress rehearsal, with whistles and bells and much more than I'm going to use. And then I'm going to use the next few days to comb back. And so her anxiety of, oh my God, is it weird, my words? She knows that I'm going to peel it back and get back to her words. And that kind of support and understanding is really important, particularly at that crucial part of a show's production.
For me, I've been working with Chuck since the late 80s, so, going on 3 decades, almost. More than a shorthand, I feel like we've developed some way of communicating and me understanding his work that is silent and in the body and known and unspoken. And a lot of playwrights, I don't know enough about Naomi's work to know if this is true, but a lot of great playwrights, and certainly classic ones like Chekhov or Shakespeare or whoever, there is a technique that is useful in approaching the text in terms of bringing life to it and figuring out what are the tools we have to make that particular playwright's world come to life and soar. And I feel very lucky going into rehearsal on a Chuck Me play because I can, on the first day with actors, say, here's what he does in his text, and here's a technique for how to handle that. And with Chuck, it's a lot of quick switches and what I call tesseracts, which are instant changes from one state of being to another that are not bound by psychological logic. And
which is really hard for an actor at first.
It's so
right?
hard. It has nothing to do with the way actors are trained. And, somehow I think there are ways in which we behave erratically and with contradiction in real life that get smoothed out when actors get on a stage. Suddenly, in their attempt to be lifelike, they kind of whitewash any of the jagged edges
Just
and
linear,
inconsistencies.
smooth, absolutely.
Yeah. So in some ways, it's like me saying to them, providing an invitation to get back to a state of being that I actually think is more lifelike, but they experience as being
contradictory.
Yeah, and illogical. But because I've worked with him again so much, I'm able just to say, this is how you do it. This is how you should start thinking. It's going to be scary. We're going to go there, and this was what will make the text come to life.
That's so interesting that you say that because I think Naomi and I have that a little, and I think on day one I kind of say, look, these are the things that Naomi pushes against, these are things that Naomi doesn't like, and here are a couple of the tools. And I think by the time we get onto our feet, the actors have kind of forgotten that. Yeah. And then by the time we get closer to production, then they really have forgotten it.
Yeah.
Because you pull back, don't you? You go back on everything that you've been trained to do. So it's really interesting having to constantly remind people that, again, Naomi's work does that. She doesn't like the linear, and she jumps between.
And really great playwrights each have a particular set of keys to unlock their world. Yeah. And the longer you work with a playwright, the more you know what those keys are and how to give them to other people.
Absolutely.